Thanks for joining us on 6 Plus. I'm Bailey Bates. Here's what's in the news now. New details on changes Killeen ISD is making on its safety policy following the deadly stabbing at Roy J. Smith Middle School. The Killeen ISD superintendent hosted a press conference Wednesday, March 19th. She shared little about the district's investigation. What she did share was that new safety measures are in the works. Those measures were announced Friday. They include increasing the amount of staff in hallways and enforcing harsher punishments for fights, threats, and misconduct. During the press conference, Dr. Fay announced a new direct tip line for parents. This comes as many parents say their complaints aren't being heard and rumors about bullying are not being investigated.
Give kudos to the community on that because it could just be very different right now, and it's not. We have very concerned parents, we have very concerned community, and we have a very active and engaged community that wants to help and wants to find solutions.
Dr. Fay said she has no update on why the school's weapon detection system wasn't working at the time of the stabbing. She did confirm the suspect is still in juvenile detention and the school district has offered to pay for the victim's funeral. And on the heels of the deadly stabbing at Roy J. Smith Middle School in Killeen, Dr. Fay also testifying Tuesday in Austin on student violence and discipline. Dr. Joanne Fay told the Committee on Public Education that she is in favor of House Bill 6. The bill would allow for much stricter disciplinary measures for students who cause classroom disruptions. Fay says it puts a focus on promoting a safer learning environment. Dr. Fay told state lawmakers that Texas schools are dealing with an epidemic of violence that they need help fighting.
When you have violence in your streets, those things come into your school building. And are we equipped to deal with those big issues that exist within communities when they walk into our buildings? And this is the way I believe. Kids feel safe to handle their street issues inside of our school buildings because of us, because we're there, because they know that we care and they know that we love them. And we're not equipped to deal with that.
House Bill 6 would expand a school district's authority to discipline students, like issuing in-school suspensions indefinitely and out-of-school suspension to all students. Meanwhile, a Killeen ISD principal is pushing to ban phones in all Texas public schools. The Rancier Middle School principal is urging support for House Bill 1481. It would ban all public school students from using cell phones during school hours. She says allowing phones leads to fights and cyberbullying.
Since implementing a phone-free system, we have seen tremendous improvements across multiple areas, and student behavior and classroom dynamics have changed. With fewer distractions, students are now fully engaged in learning without constant pull of the social media.
ISD's phone ban saying they couldn't reach their kids in the aftermath of the deadly stabbing. Despite advocating for a statewide ban, the district says it is reviewing the phone policy. Over in Marlin, water troubles continue to affect the city as state officials raise serious concerns about the city's ability to meet its debt obligations. Our reporter Juliana Jackson has more on the city's ability to pay the state money it owes and how this could impact their water service and future infrastructure improvements.
A default has never happened in the history of the Texas Water Development Board's state revolving fund.
At a recent Marlin City Council meeting, a representative from the TWDB shared a warning about the city's financial management.
Default would cause untold hardship on the citizens of Marlin. I will assist the city in assuring that its interest in sinking funds become compliant, but this will take some time.
It was revealed Marlin has failed to fund its required debt service account, an over $1 million payment. The city has also failed to complete timely audits for more than 5 years, averaging 200 days late each time.
The city has been non-compliant with its interest in sinking fund requirements. Compliance with existing bond covenants and applicable statutes can affect the ability of a city to qualify for new loans.
The TWDB is now stepping in, offering a lifeline.
Recently, at no charge to the city, the services of a CPA firm to help identify and resolve weaknesses in internal controls and governance. Please be sure tools are being used to the best advantage of the city.
A path is set in stone for Marlin.
Interest in sinking fund provides the peace of mind to assure that debt service can be paid.
The TWDB is committed to monthly engagement with Marlin officials until the city regains compliance.
My goal will be to help the city become eligible so that funding can be accessed when needed from any region.
Juliana Jackson, 6 News.
Well, the TWDB has never had a default in the history of its state revolving fund, but without changes to Marlin's financial plan, this could become the first, potentially cutting off access to future infrastructure funding when it is needed most. The city of Marlin declined to comment when 6 News did reach out to them earlier this week. Local beekeepers are raising concerns about planned herbicide spraying by Navasota Valley Electric Cooperative in Limestone County. A group of citizens and beekeepers tried to attend the cooperative's meeting Thursday to voice their concerns and alternatives to the spraying. The utility company is scheduled to begin spraying under power lines March 24th, a practice that has local beekeepers like Melinda Sheffield sounding the alarm, while Navasota Valley Electric maintains these spraying operations are necessary for line maintenance. Beekeepers argue the chemicals are devastating not only to honeybees, but also to wildlife and vegetation.
50% of my hives all showing signs of the colony collapse disorder where they sprayed. And they sprayed last year for the first time. And then whereas in 6 other counties, I have the regular 22 or 23% loss, and that's normal.
The company said their contractors use herbicides selected to minimize harm to pollinators and that they notify members by mail before spraying begins. Sheffield said that her affected hive shows signs consistent with colony collapse disorder, which is apparently just devastating bee populations nationwide. NVEC said they are committed to environmental stewardship in all of their operations. For small business owners like Richardson Bee Farm, we will see how this potentially affects their busy spring season. Texas A&M is facing a lawsuit from students who say their rights are being violated. In February, the Board of Regents banned drag performances on all 11 campuses. Now the Texas A&M Queer Empowerment Council is suing all 9 members of the board, as well as the system chancellor and president. They have also asked a federal judge to hold back the ban. They claim it's violating their First Amendment right to express themselves through drag. The federal government is sending nearly $300 million to South Texas farmers to make up for the water shortage. Representative Monica De La Cruz says the money will save entire industries, but farmers say what they really need is more water.
That is going to help us tremendously. We lost our sugarcane industry in the last Congress, and we're on the verge of losing our citrus industry.
If we don't keep a consistent supply of water here in the Rio Grande Valley, simply we're not going to have water for the cities and for the yards and for houses.
U.S. Senator Ted Cruz agrees the grant is a short-term solution. Long-term, he says Mexico owes water to South Texas under a 1944 treaty, and they need to return that water to the Rio Grande. That water comes due this October. A Central Texas lawmaker has filed a bill to shut down Texas Parks and Wildlife. District 56's Pat Curry filed House Bill 4938. The bill would abolish the Parks and Wildlife Department. It reassigns its jobs to other state agencies. The General Land Office would manage the parks. The Department of Agriculture would start regulating hunting and fishing, and DPS would take over for game wardens. The bill also states all Parks and Wildlife employees would transfer to the department, taking over their jobs. That bill would need to be approved by the majority of the House and Senate and get signed by the governor to become law. The city of Temple is planning a new I-35 construction project. According to the city, construction will stretch from Troy to Belton. They plan to turn the existing lanes into express lanes, then add 4 lanes in each direction for normal traffic. They're also planning to rezone most of the land along I-35 for commercial buildings. The first step for getting the project approved is hearing feedback from the public. Right now, the city has an online survey where you can share your thoughts. You can find that on our website, kcentv.com. It's the beginning of new and improved housing on Fort Cavazos after years of housing complaints on post. There were lots of cheers and big smiles as the excavator tore into the side of the McNair Village housing. For years, there's been ongoing complaints about the housing being unlivable for soldiers and their families. Just this past summer, a former sergeant and his family were awarded over $10 million after living in one of the mold-infested homes. And that was on Fort Cavazos. They also experienced many health issues with that. The demolition of the 1940s McNair Village housing unit marked a big step forward.
And today we turn the page on a new chapter of Fort Cavazos history. We are demolishing these homes so that we could continue to fulfill our promise to provide safe, comfortable, high-quality housing for every team member here on the installation.
The Fort Cavazos Media Center says 272 total units are being demolished to make way for new and improved housing. The demolished homes will help make way for the expansion of Heritage Heights, the recently added neighborhood. In all, there will be around 580 new 3-bedroom homes. After 7 years of service, a Waco nonprofit is shutting down their food market. In a statement, Mission Waco announced it's closing the Jubilee Food Market March 31st. The organization says the market was founded to bring affordable, fresh foods to a neighborhood who didn't have them close at hand. With new grocery stores and delivery services moving into the area, Mission Waco says Jubilee has less of an impact. The nonprofit says Jubilee employees will serve in other areas. They say they are thankful for everyone who shopped and supported Jubilee. Waco is now a little safer thanks to a new fire station. 6 News was at the grand opening Thursday for Fire Station 15. We were joined by hundreds of people. The station now houses 3 fire trucks and 8 firefighters. The interim Waco fire chief says Waco is growing so quickly that there's been slower response time in the area that this fire station will be serving. He says with Fire Station 15, firefighters will be able to get anywhere in that area in less than 6 minutes. Well, every week on Texas Today, our team features a new perfect pet. But after pets get adopted, it's rare we get to hear about the journey afterward. One viewer reached out to 6 News after adopting his beloved pup years ago, telling us that even though his pet crossed the bridge, those were some of the best years of his life. 6 News anchor Jasmine Caldwell shares his story with us tonight.
So one of the fondest memories I have of Nala is when we went to the beach. She just took off running, and I wish I could have just taken off that leash and just let her go.
John Alanese's world felt emptier the day his furry companion took her last breath. Despite the grief, he found comfort in the idea that one day they would be reunited.
And it's such an image that I'll never forget, and truly an image that I have of her, thinking about her in heaven.
It was back in 2012 during KCEN TV's Perfect Pet segment when John first laid eyes on this 2-month-old puppy.
I went beeline straight to the animal control location and adopted her.
He named her Nala, who would become more than just a pet. She became family.
Such a beautiful, precious dog, a good heart, and so, yeah, she was such a loving dog.
Nala came into his life during a difficult time.
And even during that discipline, that storm, God allowed Nala to come in my life. I call her an angel with fur.
But sadly, in February, his angel with fur passed away at the age of 12. And John reached out to 6 News to thank us for the gift.
That was the reason why I had so much gratitude for KCEN and the Perfect Pet segment for giving us Nala into our family.
But he has a message for anyone looking for that perfect pet.
If you're able to love a pet, please consider it. But I do ask that please take a true inventory if you're able to handle a dog or a pet properly, because they do deserve to be loved and cared for.
That was Jasmine Caldwell reporting. Every Thursday morning, Texas Today has a new perfect pet, and you never know, we may just feature the one that steals your heart. Up next, here's 6 News meteorologist Aviana Smith with your Weather 101. Thanks for watching In the News on 6 Plus. I'm Bailey Bates.
Help you weather the storm. That's why I am here at Ace, because Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. I have here with me Nick, a key holder here at Ace, and he's going to tell us what items they see during severe weather and increase in, as well as also other tips and tools that you all need or equipment that you can find here at Ace. Nick, thank you so much for joining me here. You see behind us, you got some chainsaws in action. So Nick, kind of tell us, because chainsaws is not something that you typically see people purchase here or during severe weather, but you did see an increase in that. So kind of tell me about that.
Yes, ma'am. You know, we're coming up on about a year since our tornado that just tore us apart down here. And we saw about a 3-time increase from normal chainsaw sales. Normal chainsaw sales are going for people who managing their lots, managing their ranches around here. But when that tornado hit, it didn't discriminate on anybody. And we had trees in the yards, on the houses, on the vehicles, and everything from our smallest homeowner units to just our biggest boys down here. We saw, like I said, a 3-time increase on every one of them.
Now it's time for us to take a look at some tools that they have here at ACE, all the equipment that you need if you're trying to weather that storm. So Nick, kind of tell us what all is available in store and what people can find here at ACE.
Yes, ma'am. Well, here at ACE, we have just about anything you could need, and if we don't have it, we probably get it. Because when it comes to the emergency, whether it is, flooding, keeping everything heated, and keeping your systems ready. So right here behind you, ain't nothing worse than opening up your junk drawer and not being able to find your batteries. So here in our battery organizer, you can get your 9 volts, your C's, your D's, your A's, your AA's, AAA's, anything you want. Keep them nice and clean and ready right here. Typically underneath anybody's sink, they have their fire extinguishers, but they need to make sure that they are the appropriate fire extinguisher and that they're not expired. So come on by and get your fire extinguisher. Your gas cans for your generators. Your generator's size is going to be based on your needs. So a smaller generator just for your refrigerator, or if you're trying to power more, you'll get a bigger generator. The lights go out, you want some emergency lighting. This will help light up the whole living room. If you're having to go out and about around, we have your headlamps here that you wear around the house so you don't have to take away from the others. Then we have our extension cords. We have all the extension cords, light duty, medium duty, heavy duty, 15, 25, 50, 100 feet, whatever you need. We'll take care of you here. A lot of people don't think about a toolbox set. Anything from just a simple hammer, socket wrench, anything. Just keep that in the pantry, kind of tucked right in the corner. At least you know you have it, so you ain't got to go to the garage or the shop and try to dig something out in the dark. We have the quick dams. Quick dams right here, these are reusable dams. They roll out flat. Once the water reaches them, it swells and gives you that, if you're trying to get into your front door, back door, garage, whatever you need there. Once the rain stops, you can hang it up somewhere over the fence, say, and then it'll drain. You can roll it up, reuse it later. A lot of people with the generators are dual fuel. You have propane and gas. Some are both, one or the other. Here at ACE, we've got all your propane needs, the tanks, the fill, we got you. We got firewood, and we're just here to help you in your time of need.
ACE also provides emergency radios, walkie-talkies, and first aid kits. Don't forget to gather all these items and put them in a duffel bag or a box. Put it in a secure location and make sure it's easily accessible in case of an emergency. Remember that list of items Nick provided to ensure we all stay safe during severe weather. Thank you so much, Nick, for your help. I'm sure you have more folks to get to here at ACE. Remember, they're the place with the helpful hardware folks, and your 6 News Weather Impact team is always here to help.